Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Here we have another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards. Tonight we have the newest member, and hopefully not a fuck up, of Clan Tremere entering the city for the purpose of gaining her recognition of her acknowledgement. The meeting place, which would have been forwarded to her from her primogen, because actually the primogen is going to be accompanying her, is the home of the late Julian Elvastago Plateado de Montano. Upon entering the home by a butler that looks very curious and nervous, see that's quite lavish yet sparse. They haven't done very well on improving the decor since most of it was taken. You would know a substantial lack of mirrors in the house, however, and that has yet to be rectified. Given who the house's previous occupant was, if you knew who it was, you wouldn't be surprised. So Primogen Johnson will be greeted by Miss Cuthbert. Miss Cuthbert will then send for Alicia Cuthbert, Keeper of Elysium. Blonde hair, blue eyes, apt to. She's not very attractive, but she's very regal in her own sense. We'll send for the sheriff, telling him that there's a member of Clan Tremere in the city, and that she is to meet with Seneschal Mask.
I'll be
there. You'll notice that the Primogen looks a little. You'll notice that your Primogen looks a little irritated, especially the way that Cuthbert seems to stress the word Tremere. She'll lead you into what looks like a sitting room that's roughly the size of your apartment at the Chantry. There's a couple of chairs strewn about, and then a big throne. Sitting upon the throne is a man wearing all black with a black cloak and the blur of Mask of a Thousand Faces over his face, but it's actually non-recognizable. It's like it's constantly shifting. I'm guessing that Mircea will be there standing next to him.
Yes, he'll have his broadsword just in case shit goes down. Don't think
Right.
it will, but he looks about 6 feet tall, Victorian era clothing, scarred up face, shoulder length black hair.
So you see Johnson will just curl his lip at Mircea but won't say anything and will approach, followed by he'll make sure that Ariana, is it Ariana or Adriana? I can never remember. Adriana, okay. Will is following beside him and will lead her up to the throne. I notice the prince is not here tonight. Mask will just say, the prince has matters that are far more important than dealing with a matter of prestation. Sandy will just curl his lip and say, of course, I'm sure if it was a member of another clan, she'd be here in a heartbeat. Now, Mr. Johnson, don't be snippy. It's very bad form to be snippy to the seneschal of the city. Of course, Mask. He'll then turn and look to Mircea. Keeping our city safe.
I do my best.
Well, I've got another life for your protection. Make sure it doesn't slip up. He'll then turn to Adriana and motion her forward. Present yourself, child.
I am Adriana Ramirez, and I seek temporary hospitality until I can speak to the prince.
Mask will look at you a little closely, and you'll see that the colors on his face blur and then shift back in a different direction. You'll keep those covered up, correct? And he motions to her mouth.
Well, you don't seem to listen, so I don't find much use to talking.
Well, I just want to make sure that your fangs. There's a lot of supernatural stuff happening in the city that we're doing our best to keep quiet. Having you walk around with fangs that can be readily seen is a further annoyance to the masquerade. I just want to make sure you're not going to breach. And at that point, Sandy will say, "How about you remove the covering over your face and walk outside?"
And at that point, Mitra will glare at him and say, "You'll show the seneschal proper respect and not speak out of turn."
Sandy will just nod his head, and Mask will say, "Thank you, Sheriff. While I am capable of speaking from my own tongue, I'm glad that you maintain your position of holding the traditions sacred." He'll then look at Primogen Johnson and say, "My kind have managed to keep our appearance hidden from all manner of detection for over centuries. What's your excuse?" And at that point, Sandy Johnson will just kind of glare and look down. And at that point, the Primogen will stand up and walk off the throne and walk over to Adriana. "Your Primogen has made some mistakes with members of his clan. As such, his word is not as respected as it should be in this domain. I trust you're not another of these mistakes. We can only do so much to keep the other supernaturals from killing us without members of your clan interfering with them."
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My mind just went blank. She'll hold her head up and say, there will be... Okay, is it the bell or the litany?
It's the masquerade.
The masquerade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll hold her head up and say, there will be no breach of the masquerade. I have my plans for that.
That's good. I also trust that you'll be able to follow the words of the Tarot Accord in this city that we must adhere by, or else we would be destroyed. Should should you fall into similar patterns as other members of your clan, say Dextra or Mildred, I will make sure that they send you to a far worse place than where they sent Dextra. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, not worried. It's not going to happen.
Good. I like that. That's a very positive attitude. Seems everybody in this town has gotten rather dour. Oh, that's right. There's a couple of Zemis Infernalists running around killing people.
I can help with that. I have very good connections with the occult.
Mask will look a bit surprised, and then he'll say, "Oh, that's right. Your Justicar, Antonin de Zagreb, decided to pass law that says that you are allowed to deal with infernal things. Aren't you so lucky that you have someone who is willing to look out for all the different aspects of your clan?" He'll then look over at Mircha. "Mircha, I trust that law passed by Justicar de Zagreb does not interfere with your duties to the masquerade and to the laws of our people as well."
Oh, of course, I have no patience for infernalism of any sort.
However, they are now protected by Justicarial law from it being considered breach of the masquerade or punishable by death.
I don't much care what he has to say. If it breaches the masquerade, whoever breaches it will be cut down.
He then looks at Adriana. "You understand your position. I have no problem with you having knowledge of demons or knowing how to fight them. However, if you should choose to side with them, you will face death. And Sandy Johnson will stand up and say, "Rest assured, there are ways with our clan to cause such things to happen should it arise. Oh yes, like how you handled the Mildred situation." And you see him clench his fist.
She'll just shrug and not look worried at all.
Well then, I have other duties to take care of, such as getting the New Elysium up to speed. If you have any further questions, please direct them to the sheriff. I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of him. And he'll stand up and walk off his throne and walk off the throne again.
Mircha,
At that point, Sandy just looks so like ready to just punch something.
she'll look towards Mircha and ponder a minute. Slavic in origin. The past tense means peace, but according to current day standards, it means mercy. Does your name at all match your personality?
From a certain point of view. I personally would consider it a mercy to send any who dabble with demons or any flesh crafting diseases, send them to their final death.
She'll nod.
And he'll kind of look at Sandy whenever he says that.
Sandy just looks nonplussed. You'll get something in your ear.
Who?
No, it's to Mircha. You'll get it from Alice. Was there a formal Elysium call tonight?
I don't think there was there?
No, this was definitely an informal gathering, though the place has been declared Elysium.
He'll just kind of shake his head.
Dust wants to come in. You'll hear that from from Alice.
Allow him in, but watch him.
Very well. So, you hear a bit of a commotion from the entrance. Sandy will look over to Mircha. Is there a problem, Sheriff?
You'll see.
Adriana is going to lean against a table and pull out her Bible and start reading it.
Which Bible?
She only has one.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, so you see the Tremere sit down, pull out a freaking. I'm going to say that this Bible in particular, because of your cult, is special. It's not a King James version. It's probably something Franciscan, but smaller. Maybe something off the Gutenberg press. So you see her pull out a Gutenberg Bible, sit down with it, and start reading it.
He'll just kind of raise an eyebrow, but then focus his attention towards the door.
The door opens and you see Dust walk in. Kim, I don't think Kim's ever had a description of Dust. So
No. He's a motherfucker.
he's about 6'3", covered in black robes, with a hood pulled over his head. If you look under the hood, his skin is ebon like stone, and he has white bone-like horns and spikes sticking out of his head. Oh, and his eyes are yellow. So he walks in and he looks around. So, this was Elvestaga's home. Sandy Johnson just looks scared. You've never seen him look so scared before. Then he'll start sniffing the air. I thought I recognized the scent of stolen blood. And that will just catch his attention again. So
she's gonna say something to Sandy. She'll look at him and say, "As long as you don't do anything stupid, you shouldn't fear death."
Sandy's just like, this, I know this man. And he'll walk over. Oh, Primogen Johnson, isn't it such a pleasure to see you here? Tell me, how is Alban Blake? Is he a lord yet? Sandy will just stammer, and you and I both know that Alban Blake would kill you where you stood. No, he wouldn't. You see, monsters recognize each other. And he glides over to Mircea. Mr. Basra. Oh, Sheriff. Or is it Alistair? I get your positions confused, you see. How are you tonight?
It's Sheriff as long as I'm in this city, and I'm fine.
Any headaches, nausea, indigestion?
No, I've been fine.
Interesting. Tell me, what's been happening in the city? As far as your organization's concerned.
I'm sure you know already. You don't need me to tell you.
Yes, but I like hearing your voice. Then he'll look over at Adriana. Oh, a new pretty. Isn't that so sweet? And he'll walk over to her and look, a Gutenberg Bible. I haven't seen them since they were printed. Are you lost, little girl? Do you need help?
Hand
Scream
on
if
sword.
you need help. What'd you say?
Hand on sword.
Okay. Sandy looks like he's about to start whipping fire, and he's holding back.
Hey, okay, you gonna listen?
Yeah, he's doing
What?
things.
She looks him in the eyes and says, "I know how to banish sea monsters under my bed." And she'll go back to reading.
Oh, she's got fire. That's fun. Tell me, little girl, do you like to play with demons too?
She'll look up and say, "I don't play with demons. They are not my equal."
Good. If you had said otherwise, I would have had to kill you where you stand and blow yet another Elysium. You see, unlike other clans, and he'll look at Sandy and then look back to Adriana, the Sabbat have no truck with demons whatsoever and kill them wherever we find them, including their servants. And then he'll look back at Mircea. Tell me, did it break your little heart when you found out that your precious Camarilla was allowing infernal cinemas?
He's just gonna give him a stone-faced glare.
I'll take that as a yes. You should have given up your humanity a long time ago. It's unsettling.
I have my reasons, as I'm sure you do as well.
Yes, perfection of the physical form. He'll then look back at Adriana. I'm a Zemith. Do you know what that means?
Out of character? No.
Flesh crafting fuckboys.
Would I know that in character?
Yes, that's
Yes.
a pretty common
Especially among the Tremere.
You would also know that your people fucking will make that.
She wouldn't know unless she had Tremere, Clan Lord Tremere 3. She wouldn't know anything about Goratrix's blood potion or the ingredients to make it. So,
No, I was thinking more of the gargoyles.
oh yeah. If she had Tremere Lore 2, she'd know that they used to use Zemisa's material components for gargoyles.
along with Gangrels and I think Malkavians.
No, not Malkavians, Nosferatu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's where the Zimgrel, Nosgrel, Gangrel, or Grel Grel, Zim Zims, and Nos Nosses came from.
Zim,
Yeah. It's the only way I can think to
I'm gonna go
differentiate the
Zim
different
Zim.
lines. It's the only way I can think of to differentiate the different lines. And actually used that in character one time, and my region just looked at me like, "What is wrong with you?"
I think Zim Zim is my favorite word now. Hey Mircha, what are you? I'm a Zim Zim.
All right, so back in character. Do you know what it means?
She'll look at him and say, "No."
It means that I'm the boogeyman. At least that's what the puppets of the White Tower want you to think. I invite people to think for themselves. Unless you think that infernalism is a good idea, at which point you have to die painfully.
Think what you like as long as you like it. Dust.
Well, you see what happens when people who believe in demons and believe they are good and should be worshipped are allowed to run amok in the city. How many deaths is it now that you haven't been able to prevent? How many seals broken?
4, I believe.
Did you know? Did you know that Mother attacked the Garu?
When did this happen?
Oh, a few nights ago. She created a pet and had the pet lead her little pets to the werewolves.
And how did that work for her?
Oh, they all got slaughtered except for her. But they were able to open another seal, while everybody else was distracted with the Garu. This is why this tarot court's a bad idea. Supernaturals mixing with other supernaturals. It violates Kane's law. You should know that.
I don't see
You all should know that. What'd you say?
I don't see you preventing these murders.
I've been working on something. Something special. Here's a bit of advice to take to your friends. See if they can figure it out as well. What do the 4 murdered people all have in common? Some food for thought. For now, I need to go. Mother's starting to twist the winds again, and that makes me an unhappy camper. Goodbye, little girl. Then he'll look over at Sandy. Goodbye, stolen blood. Perhaps you'll be reclaimed someday. And he'll walk out the door. And Sandy's just like, you see he's kind of shaking and gritting his teeth at the same time, like he's about to go off. Well, Adriana, you just met the Archbishop of the Sabbat in this city.
He didn't make that much of an impression on me. Bunch of big words, but that was all.
Yes, keep thinking like that. Well, I'm surprised that your prince lets him wander around freely in the Elysium.
He respects Elysium, so there's no reason not to.
He respects what he chooses to respect.
He's had one of his own murdered for disrespecting Elysium. I think he respects Elysium.
They're Sabbat animals. How do you know he didn't just kill him out of rage and come up with a convenient reason for himself to walk around Elysium unmolested?
Does he seem the type to just frenzy for no reason?
No, I suppose not.
I
Well-
assure you, I don't like the man any more than you do, but he has his rules that he follows. There's a lot more than we can say for the Infernalists.
Right? Is it? I never did ask. Everybody was saying it was Dust that manipulated the Garou into killing Julian. Was it?
No,
Who was it then? Do we even know?
it was one of the Infernalists.
Well, just another reason to kill them all, I guess.
Indeed.
Adriana, I'm returning home. Is there anything you need?
Hmm, I need some locations on your Gothic bars in this city.
On what?
Gothic bars.
Oh, goth bars.
Those who like to pretend to be vampires but are not.
As far as I know, there's not many of that. There is a bar in the area where all the supernaturals meet. It's a combination of a bar and a dance club and a strip bar and a BDSM club called the Emerald Mother. Mircha, you're familiar with the place, correct?
Yes.
How accepting are they of our kind there? I understand that Julian, when he was still alive, was acting as a go-between between us and the people that own the establishment.
They will be wary in most cases, but as long as you prove you're not an idiot, they'll be fine with you.
Explains how the S-Mite got kicked out.
I'll just kind of grin at that. Even though I wasn't here, but goddamn, fuck those Assamites.
Well, I'm not sure about any others. I do know that there was an occult bookstore around somewhere. If you really want to learn more about the occult, I understand the mages are fairly forthcoming with their knowledge. Not so much their blood or their people, but knowledge. Well, I'll be off. You have your car. If you need anything, you have my cell phone number. And Johnson will head out. Cuthbert will walk in looking very upset. Not Timothy, Alice. I don't play Timothy unless it's a Primogen meeting. So Alice will walk in looking very upset. That person had the nerve to take issue with the patterns I had set out.
Okay, is she talking about Dust or
To Dust, yes.
okay.
Talk about Dust, yes.
What patterns do you mean?
The swatches I'd put out for upholstery patterns for furniture I'm trying to have brought in, he said that they didn't match the decor. How could they not match the decor? They're perfect.
Let me see.
She'll show you some of the swatches that she has, and they actually look nice. You get the feeling that Dust was just being a dick, or that Alice is trying to find reasons why she's playing off Dust as an asshole.
You realize he's just trying to get a rise out of you, correct?
Yes, I'm suppose so. The arrogance of this that Sabat asshole. I'm sure his entire house is made out of dead bodies. At this point, another woman will walk in, fairly attractive. Let me look her up. There we go. App 5 with a speck and sexy.
Adriana will start to fan herself with the Bible.
Okay. Looking around like she completely owns the place, strutting about like do 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 do. Then she'll look over at Mircha and say, "Oh, Sheriff, we have a new person. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm the harpy of the domain. What's your status?"
You never took status. So you're
Acknowledged.
yeah, there you go. You're acknowledged.
I'm acknowledged until I can have a proper meeting with the prince.
She'll write down. And your name?
Adriana Ramirez.
And your clan?
Tremere.
Oh. Ew. And she'll write that down too. How long have you been one of us?
Pick a number.
Only about 40 years.
40 years and you still are only acknowledged. You poor dear. You must just be a shut-in. That's
You know-
so sad. And you're
you know
so
how it's
plain
Tremere.
looking too.
You know how the Tremere are. They like to shut them away in their chantries for decades at a time.
See, I was actually one of the lucky, but I guess that matters not to you, so.
Well, let's hope you don't make those awful mistakes that your clan seems to be so prone on making. Tell me, are you an infernalist?
What is subtlety?
She's also a bitch. So
Yeah.
She'll look her in the eye, obviously flirting. Only in between your legs. I'll set your heart aflame.
How quaint. It's a shame you're so plain looking. You might be fun. So, what brings you to our city? Are you here to help with the fact that your clan is nothing but a group of fuck-ups?
Well, my sire, the Lord, asked that I help with the infernalist problem.
So you are an infernalist?
No. I'm going to take care of him.
Well, I hope you've had better luck than some of the other people in this city. It's a shame Julian died. What am I talking about? No, it's not. He's a Lasombra. Hey, Mircha. How's
Yeah.
that sit with you?
It's a good thing Mircha's so self-composed.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Also just spent a willpower point.
To keep from bitch slapping the harpy?
So what?
To keep from bitch slapping the harpy?
Keep from frenzying at her being a huge bitch towards Julian.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten all the information I need. Do keep a weather eye, dearie. I'll be watching. I love watching. And then she'll walk off. Oh, and Sheriff, managed to get dust status, but I don't seem to recognize any of it. What
Let me
does
see.
initiated, proven, blooded, dedicated, are these Sabat status?
Not a character. I have no Sabat lore because I fucked up.
Oh, wow, Zemis with even an OCT without Sabat lore. Wow, you may need to buy some later on.
Yeah, like my justification was that his sire basically was like, we're independent. If anyone comes in, kill them.
Right.
I don't care if they're Camarilla, I don't care if they're Sabat. Kill them. You don't need to know what they are, who they are, what their status is. Just kill them.
Right. I don't recognize any of these status or the title Archbishop. As far as I know, there's no archbishops in the Camarilla. We're not exactly a religious order now, are we?
You'd probably get Archbishop though, given how it was discussed earlier.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. Are you saying that in character or?
No, I was saying that out of character.
Yeah. One thing I would have you do is roll a perception empathy.
Okay. Mitch is such a weird OCT.
Yeah. That's enough successes to know that she is obviously fucking with everybody right now. That the only reason why she's saying all this is because She's trying to fuck with people.
Don't you have better things to do than get a rise out of everyone here?
Oh, she can get a rise out of me anytime.
That's
Hmm.
worrisome.
She'll make a note. No, not really. It's so boring here. Nobody's doing anything fun. Everybody's all worried about, oh, the dead bodies, and oh, somebody's trying to bring a demon out of the ground, and oh, those cloth swatches don't match the decor. It's so boring. And at that, she'll walk out of the room.
That was our harpy. Feel free to not speak to her ever. The rest of us try to avoid it as much as possible.
She seems fun.
Excuse me.
Is there anything else you need from me?
You've been informed of the tarot card, correct?
Have a
You probably would have been, yes. Basically, don't fuck with supernaturals. Don't try to ghoul any other supernaturals. Don't embrace any other supernaturals. Just don't be a shithead to other supernaturals unless they are a shithead to you first.
of course.
Very well. And you already know our traditions and our laws, so you're good there.
So, it was nice meeting you. And we'll start to walk to her car.
All right, if that's all, let's go ahead and call it.
Okay.
Thank you, players, for playing. We had a couple watchers bumping in. So thank you for watching. This has been another edition of House of Cards. Thank you and have a pleasant night.